That's what we're checking right now. We're about to check this out right now.
Because yeah, the headphones are your benediction for like. Okay.
Volume check, volume check. Live mic test, live mic test. Sound check, sound check. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. It's all the way up.
It's gonna be a minute.
It'll take a minute.
Sound's working. It's picking up. Yeah. We thank everyone tuned in live to the stream right now. We are just finishing some pregame technical programming, getting all of our equipment set up. We will start the broadcast in the next minute and a half, so we thank you for joining us on the Beacon Broadcasting Network. Don't go too far. Beacon's Chargers starting momentarily. All right, guys, we thank you so much for your patience. Because we've made it here at the Clark Athletic Center. Unfortunately, we still have some technical things that we're working through right now, but we're good to go high atop the Clark Athletic Center for another edition of Beacon's basketball, and for the first time in the 2022-2023 season at home in the CAC. We'll be right back with more pregame after this. Okay, my phone's just... Volume check, mic check, mic check. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, and so after all that, here we are. Good evening, folks. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are watching across Beaconville. I am Chris Del Sordo, bringing you the action, your 1-1 UMass Boston Beacons versus the 0-3 Chargers of Colby-Sawyer College. We'll take a look at the side-by-side season comparison here stat-wise. Good start for the Beacons. They got off a little flat-footed in their first game, a road loss at Bridgewater State, rebounded beautifully with a road win down in Rhode Island against Salve Regina. 71 points on the season for the Beaks, slightly edging their opponents, allowing 70.5 points per contest. As you can see, a much different story for Colby-Sawyer on the other side of the aisle there, giving 20 points to their opponents right now, 59.7 points per contest, allowing almost 80 a game. It hasn't been all doom and gloom for Colby-Sawyer. They have been shooting well, 37% from the floor, 36% from beyond the arc. The Beacons, just 36% from the floor and 29.4 from three-point range. But the Beacons, as they are wont to do, have been getting after it on the glass the first two games this season. 38 rebounds per contest compared to just 31 for Colby-Sawyer. Both teams, I think, would both like to see those turnover numbers descend slightly. 15.5 turnovers per contest for the Beaks, 16.3 per game for the Chargers. Our matchup to watch tonight features the dueling big men. Malik Lorquette, one of Beacon Broadcasting Network's very own. He's joined us in a bunch of broadcasts this season. Now we'll finally get to see him do his thing on the hardwood. A imposing figure, a 6'5" forward out of Sharon, Massachusetts, 13-10 in the first two games this season, including a 19-point, 11-rebound double-double in the win over Salve Regina. Connor Kelly on the other side, a hot shooting big man. He has been started off this season on an impressive clip. He is a senior out of Charlestown, Mass, finally seeing his first real minutes in the rotation with Colby-Sawyer and taking advantage of them. 10 points a contest, almost 7 rebounds a game, and you can't beat that clip. He is shooting the ball at almost 60% through the first 3 games on the season. Colby-Sawyer, rough start for them when you look at their schedule. They lost their first game at Virginia Wesleyan. That's a top-tier Division III opponent. They lost by 23. But then came back home, an opponent that they have success against, Pfeiffer College, lost 70-77, and they're fresh off a 25-point loss to Suffolk University. All right, so that's what we have in front of us today. Let's take a quick sneak peek at the Beaks. Thanksgiving coming up, Black Friday weekend, and you can see we will have a busy weekend for you. Women's basketball playing right now, 3 games on Friday, including 2 basketball games. Women at 11, men at 7:30. So a lot going on around Beaconville. Make sure that you tune in on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, powered by LittleEast.tv, to watch your Beacons in action this weekend. Both teams are making their way out to the hardwood for the national anthem. So very quickly, let's take a look at the head coach breakdown. Jason Harris, in his 8th season leading the Beacons here. He's just the second coach in program history for the men's basketball season. 77 wins across his 8 seasons coaching, 41 and 49 in the LEC. And on the other side, Dan Kagler, in his 2nd season at the helm of the Chargers, he went 9-15 in his first season coaching last year. Clock is about to hit 0, and so we'll throw it to a quick break. When we come back, we will have the starting lineups for you, the game preview, and we'll get to it. It's basketball time in the Clark Athletic Center after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
And welcome back inside the Clark Athletic Center. The 1-1
campus
Beacons, the
UMass
0-3
system,
Chargers
the
about to do
University
duel
of
here on the
Education
hardwood. My
Workforce
name is Chris Del Sordo. You are tuned into the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. Before we get into the starting lineups, a quick look side by side at the individual leaders. We mentioned Malik Lorquette. We mentioned Connor Kelly before this game started. You can see their names popping up quite a bit. The respective bigs leading the team in shooting percentage and rebounds per contest. Bobby Joy off to a phenomenal start beyond the arc this season. 60% through his first 3 games. And Scott Lamprin, you're going to be hearing me call his name quite a bit. He is a sharpshooter in his own right, shooting 45.5% on the season. Terrence Harvey, Emmanuel Zients making their appearances in the assist column. Manny, a sophomore, leading the way with 3.5 dimes per contest. And Terrence Harvey Jr., a senior out of Atlanta, leading the Chargers with 2.6 assists per game. Daryl Kornicki, the LEC commissioner, making a stand-in appearance as the public address announcer tonight. He is giving us the starting lineups here, and so let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. For the Chargers, their backcourt is going to be headed up by Kevin Cummings and Scott Lamprin, and we mentioned Terrence Harvey Jr. as well. Scott Lamprin, a senior sharpshooter out of Concord, New Hampshire. Kevin Cummings, a sophomore out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. He'll be on the wing, and then Connor Kelly, local product, senior year out of Charlestown, Mass, down low on the post. The starting 5 for the Beacons, Emmanuel Zayas, wearing number 1, sophomore out of Hollywood, Florida. He's the true number 1. The freshman, Xavier McKenzie out of Lowell, Mass, 6'3" freshman, wearing number 2 in the backcourt with Manny. Ike Alua out on the wing. He is a sophomore out of Princeton, New Jersey. Tommy Burris going to play the stretch 4 for the Beacons. He's a senior out of Dalton, Mass. And then Malik Lorquette, a 6'5" senior out of Sharon, Mass, manning the post. So it's Zayas, McKenzie, Alua, Burris, Lorquette on the floor for the Beacons. Lamprin, Harvey, Joanno, Cummings, and Connor Kelly, the starting 5 for the Colby-Sawyer Chargers. Beacons win the tip back to Manny Zayas, and we're underway in the Clark Athletic Center. Tommy Burris flashes open at the high post. They'll dribble, hand it off around the perimeter to Ike Alua. Alua, hand off to Zayas. Manny dishes it back to Alua. Dribble, drive, stops on the wing. Almost lost his dribble, kept it alive. Here's McKenzie, head full of steam. Takes on some contact. A lot of contact. The rebound hauled in by Lorquette. He puts it on the deck one time and then drops it into the hoop. And Malik Lorquette, 13 points per contest. Off to a quick start here. The Beacons 2-0 early in this contest. So there's Terrence Harvey Jr., 2.6 assists per contest. Hands it off to Mike Joanno. And now here's Connor Kelly posted up on the right elbow. Hands it off to Scott Lamprin. He's going to look for that shot line. He's blocked out on the perimeter by McKenzie. McKenzie couldn't get it ahead to Zayas, and so now Xavier walks it up himself. There's the handoff to Manny. Back to Lorquette. They're going to go his way quite a bit tonight. Spinning and driving through, and 2 more for Malik Lorquette. Off to a beautiful start early here for the Beaks. Underway here, 3-ball on its way from Terrence Harvey. That one misses long. Kelly had the rebound momentarily. He loses it. Now Tommy Burris darting ahead the other way. Ike Alua, baseline drive, and it's just a hair too hard off the glass. That was a strong take for the sophomore Alua. That lane opened up rather quickly. Took advantage of it. Kelly up and under. Beautiful finish. How about this senior coming alive? 7th leading returning scorer Not 7th leading scorer last season, 7th leading returning scorer last season. He's got 2 tonight, and there's 2 for Terrence Harvey Jr., the scoop and the score, and the senior out of Atlanta, Georgia. Showing some senior leadership, some crafty play out on the perimeter to poke that one free. Zayas out on the left wing. Thought about the 3 for a split second. Waits for Lorquette to set the pick. Now he's open, coasting to his left. Pull up 3, got it. Nothing but net for Manny Zayas. And the Beacons, they don't shoot from behind the arc as often as their opponent. That's not part of the game. They like to go down low. It's not a concerted effort. We're not trying to put up shots from the outside. So it's really nice to see there the guard grabbing this game by the horns. And how about that answer 3 from Kevin Cummings on the left wing, and we might be in line for a shootout today here inside the Clark Athletic Center. Zayas over, Burris another 3. That one's short. Tommy, 3rd on the team in 3-point percentage right now. How about Ike Alua down low, and he got the spin off the glass. Alua posts up down low, standing down at 6'3" on the low block. He's playing the stretch 3 right now, so not going to be asked to go down low and haul in the boards all that often. Big pull down. And now the Beacons, they need to stop. Colby-Sawyer scored on their last 3 possessions. Cummings just hit a 3, gets cut off by Burris, step back, no shot there. Swinging around to Lamprin. Lamprin picks up his dribble, goes down low to Kelly. Kelly and Lorquette, this might be a showdown all night long. Spinners long. Lorquette pulls down the board. It was tipped up by Alua, and there's the stop the Beacons wanted and got. Now here's Zayas. Over to Lorquette. Malik behind the 3-point line, hands it off to McKenzie. Beacons going with a basically 5-out look here with Malik playing all the way out on the perimeter. He spins around Kelly. That's a tough take, and he's able to draw the foul underneath against Kevin Cummings. And so the first foul of the game, committed by the sophomore out of Portsmouth. His first, team's first, and it's on the shot. So Malik Lorquette, the team's leading scorer, shooting 91% from the stripe this season. I'm going to knock on wood as I say that. Headed to the line to shoot 2. Quick breath as this one up and in. A bit of a line drive shot, some topspin on it for Lorquette, but it's working for him. With that make, Malik now 11 of 12 from the charity stripe on the season. So one more coming here for Lorquette. Got to talk about him quite a bit in the opening of this ball game, averaging 13 points per game on the season. He gets another friendly roll there. And so the Beacons stretch their lead out to 4. It's 11-7. Last year, Malik Lorquette, the 3rd leading scorer on the team, the leading returning scorer on the team, 9.8 points per contest, 7.9 rebounds per contest, started every game. So it was a productive season for Malik. And now the big man, the senior, it's his team on offense down low. Quick trigger 3 and nothing but nylon for Kevin Cummings. Kevin's got crazy range. He averages 9.7 points per contest. Came into this game shooting just 27% from beyond the arc, but he's 2 for 2 in the early going, and that brings Colby-Sawyer back to within 1. So back down low, they go to Lorquette. Omar Boone into the contest, trying to provide some assistance. Malik was able to get the shot up, misses long, and there is Omar Boone with the rebound. Cummings with a heat check instead, hands it off to Lamprin, and Lamprin drills it, and that's 2 3 balls apiece for the 2 starting point guards, Lamprin and Cummings. Colby-Sawyer now, their first lead of the contest, up 13-11, thanks to 4 tray balls in the early going here. Alua spins, gets cut off by Scott Lamprin deep in the right corner. Zayas trying to clear some room with a head fake, and he gets some space right there. Oh, beautiful hesitation, and Manny Zayas right on into the lane. That shows the effectiveness of a good head fake, as it kind of lulled everybody to sleep and then found that gear and accelerated into the hoop. This is a Boone 3 from straight on, and everything is falling for Colby-Sawyer. Omar Boone coming into this contest, 35% shooter, 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Make it 2 of 8. And Colby-Sawyer, their largest lead of the contest at 16-13. Zayas over. Great drop off from Rodriguez. Down low to Lorquette, and it's 2 more for Malik. Zayas started that play looking over to Mariano Oliver Rodriguez, who was cutting along the left baseline. The double team came to him. He slides it over to Malik, and the Beacons back to within 1. Joannou, big drive in. That's a late whistle. 2 different Beacons could be called for the foul here. I think it's going to go against Alua. It is, and so that's the first Beacons foul in this first half. It goes against Ike Alua, the sophomore out of Princeton, New Jersey. And with that, we have a media timeout on the floor. So we'll be shooting 2 when we come back from this break. Chargers, some hot shooting, have them up front by 1. It's Colby-Sawyer 16, UMass Boston 15. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration of beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Welcome back inside the Clark Athletic Center. Your Beacons trailing the Colby-Sawyer College Chargers by 1 in the early going, 16-15. Hot shooting start for both teams. Colby-Sawyer effectively shooting the lights out right now. 66% from the floor. They're 6 of 9 from two-point land. 4 of 5 from long range. And this is number 11, Mike Joanno, a sophomore wing out of Burbank, California, at the line with 1 more coming for Colby-Sawyer. 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. That is going to be a point of coaching emphasis for Coach Jason Harris in this his 8th season leading the Beaks. Resetting the floor here for the Beacons. Tommy Burris still out there with Malik Lorquette down low. Mariano Olivier Rodriguez playing out on the wing. Xavier McKenzie with the ball right now. He's joined by Manny Zayas in the backcourt. McKenzie swings it over to Burris, and now the Beacons with a more conventional 3-up, 2-out look. Little 3-2 offensive zone. Lorquette coasts through, kicks it out. McKenzie, open 3, off the front iron. Great board there by Mariano doing himself. Misses long, but Lorquette right there with the follow and the finish. Malik Lorquette, told you he would be the player to watch for, and he is yet to find any sort of off switch here. Zach Caraballo, a cross-court pass, and that's another 3 hoisted up. That was Jordan in and out. Colby-Sawyer almost 5 for 6 to start the game. They're still 4 of their first 6, still holding a 1-point lead here. 2 more shooters out on the hardwood now for the Beacons to pay attention to. McKenzie, up, floater, got it. Beautiful take for Xavier McKenzie, whose parents I got to meet on the walk into the gym. Lovely people. So I know that they're up there. They're at their spot in the back row of the bleachers. Peter and Angela, nice to meet you guys. And one heck of a basketball player on the hardwood there. That's his first bucket of the night. And the Beacons are back up 19-18. Boone going to try another 3. Got it. Colby-Sawyer brought their shooting shoes today. They are 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. They are 7 of 11 from the field, and they are holding a 2-point lead right now. We're not even 7 minutes into this ball game. Colby-Sawyer 21, UMass Boston 19. Burris, the answer for the lead. It's short. Rebound pulled down by Kevin Cummings. Cummings, a 6'6" guard, only averaging 2.3 rebounds per contest. Boone, another pull-up. That one in and out, but the rebound right back to him. He goes behind the back. Jordan in the left corner, another 3. That one's good. Daniel Jordan now 1 of 2, and Coach Harris has seen enough. The defenders are there, but the stops are not, and the shots are falling from the perimeter for Colby-Sawyer. 6 of 8 from beyond the arc are the Chargers, and the Beaks, they'll talk it over. A quick break for the Beacons and a quick break for us. We'll be right back after this. 12:41 left to go in the first half. Chargers 24, Beacons 19.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Omar Boone, Kevin Cummings, each with 3 balls apiece. And Colby-Sawyer out in front over your Beacons, 24-19 here inside the Clark Athletic Center. Mariano Olivier Rodriguez swings it over to Burris. Now it's Lorquette at the top of the key. Mariano, left-handed dribble drive. He's cut off. A lot of contact headed towards the hoop. And you have a couple of Chargers there with some animated reactions. I believe Daniel Jordan will be the guilty party here, and yes, he is. And that's just the second foul against the Chargers. Jordan with one, Kevin Cummings with one. Remember, no free throws until the 7th foul here in college hoops. So, long way to go if we're going to be dealing with any 1-and-1s or 2-shot fouls. Lorquette spinning. A tough shot, but he hits it regardless. And Malik Lorquette in double figures now for the Beacons as his hot start continues. 12 points now for Malik Lorquette on 5 of 6 shooting. A start that the Beacons cannot let fall to the wayside here as they're still trailing by 3. Burris, a hard charge defensive effort on the backside of that play. And I believe he is the guilty party. And so for Tommy, it's his first and the team's second. Got to hand it to this Colby-Sawyer team. They were effectively against a much stronger opponent, Virginia Wesleyan, effectively boxed out of that game physically. They lose 46-73. We mentioned they come back for their home game against Pfeiffer, only put up 70 points, and they lose 77-70. And then Suffolk, they get 63 points up, but they allow 88 points scored by the Rams. And so I'm not quite sure what Colby-Sawyer team that we're looking at right here, but a phenomenal job from Dan Kagler and assistant coach Austin Mick in getting these boys ready to play and finding the opportunities to exploit this Beacons defense here. 24 points already, and we're barely 8 minutes into this contest here. And you have players coming off the bench to do it too. Now, Omar Boone, mentioned his name. He didn't get the start tonight. He was the 6-man first player off the bench. 3rd leading scorer last season. He shot 45% from the field, was a 75% free throw shooter. He averaged 12.3 points per contest. They put him into the game. He gets 6 quick points. And it just opens up the opportunities for players like Daniel Jordan. Zach Caraballo hasn't even put a shot up yet. He's another player to look out here for Colby-Sawyer. And so this is a really deep team with a lot of different directions they can reach in to hurt you. And right now, it's a phenomenal start for Coach Kagler and Coach Mick as their team looks up to see a 3-point lead. 2 shots coming up here for Kevin Cummings, team's 2nd leading scorer on the season. He was the 2nd leading scorer last year. And he misses. That's his first miss from the free throw line on the season. Over 70% last year, and was 5 for 5 in the first 3 games. He'll bounce back. He'll make the second. And that puts Colby-Sawyer back up by 4, 25-21. Bobby Joy into the contest now, enjoying a very good start from beyond the arc this season for the Beaks. He wings it over to Rivera. Pardon me. That was Olivier Rodriguez. My apologies, different number 11 from last season. He misses that 3-ball long. You don't have to give Cummings a second invitation to pull from there, and he hits again from the right wing. Tray ball number 3 for Kevin Cummings, and how about this? An inbounding violation against the Beacons, and that'll keep the ball with the Chargers, who already are holding their largest lead of the game at 7. It's 28-21. Ill-time turnover here for the Beaks, and it'll be a baseline inbounds for Daniel Jordan, who, if you can see by his body language, doesn't want to wait another second to get that ball from the referee. Looks down low. That's a beautiful move there by Connor Kelly. Lorquette recovering on defense, and he gets the stop. Burris flying in for the board, and now back the other way is Zayas. Manny stops on the right wing. Little crossover dribble right to left. Has a pick if he wants it. Thinks better of it. Now working on Boone. He has the ball handling mismatch. Instead swings it over to Xavier McKenzie. Around the perimeter we go. Bobby Joy on the deck, and he dribbled it off his foot. Another turnover for the Beaks, as this is a start to a game they would like to forget. Turnover number 4 in this first half for the Beacons. 0 turnovers committed by Colby-Sawyer. If you want to ignore the hot shooting, that's one thing, but you can't ignore the hot shooting and the turnovers right now for the Beaks. So here's Colby-Sawyer, up 7. They hit a 3 here. This is a double-digit lead. Zach Caraballo kicks it over to Jordan. Jordan drives in, nothing there. Out to Boone, a contested 3, and he got it again. Omar Boone raining 3s here for Colby-Sawyer. It's his 3rd of the contest. He was 1 of 7 coming into action tonight. He's now 3 of 4 tonight. Burris, huge 3, and it's a 3. That's a big answer for the Beacons. By comparison, UMass Boston, 2 of 3 from 3-pointers in this contest. Colby-Sawyer already 7 of 10. That's a great play there from McKenzie to knock the ball off of the Charger player. That is the first turnover tonight committed by Colby-Sawyer, and it comes very timely. It couldn't have come a moment too soon. 9 minutes and 37 seconds into this ball game. Beacons do finally force a turnover. Now let's see if they can generate some points from it. Beacons trailing 31-24. Daniel Jordan, a spirited effort defensively against Manny Zayas. Zayas dumps it down low to Lorquette. He had the shoulder around Kelly. Thinks better of it, goes back out to Zayas. Now McKenzie, left-handed dribble, puts it on the deck. That one's tipped by Jordan. It goes out of bounds. And the Beacons now with just 11 to shoot. And a deep side-out inbound here from way back on the left wing. So let's see what the play is drawn up here. You have Zayas, he looks over to McKenzie, 10 to shoot. McKenzie sees the lane, kicks it out. Burris, they wing it around to Alua, right wing three, got it! Nothing but nylon for Ike Alua, and you can thank Tommy Burris with that assist. He waited the extra second he needed, got the extra pass. It would have been a pretty good look for Burris, and even better look for Alua. That's an NBA three from Cummings, and finally the heat check looks to have cooled off as he misses that one well to the left. Zayas, plugging back ahead, picks up his dribble. Little two-man game there, and it'll reset the offense for Manny on the right wing. 20 to shoot now as McKenzie gets the cross-court pass. Stops, long two, up, it's short. Kelly hauls it in, and Colby-Sawyer quickly back the other way. Well, what an offensive shootout we're seeing tonight here out on the peninsula. This one's on the deck from Caraballo. Alua, it was great defense the first time, and then he got his body hung over the back of Zach Caraballo. Can't do that, so that'll be the second foul of the night against Ike Alua. His second, team's third. Mariano Olivier Rodriguez back in for the Beaks, and so resetting the court right now, Zayas and McKenzie in the backcourt. Olivier Rodriguez, Burris, the two forwards, Malik Lorquette in the middle. Mike Joanno back out on the floor for Colby-Sawyer, so it's Joanno and Boone the forwards. Kelly is the center, and then you have Scott Lamprin back on the court with Daniel Jordan as your two guards for Colby-Sawyer. Here's Connor Kelly, had a big start. They used him a lot in the first minute on offense. Haven't heard too much from him here. He's flashing open at the high post. Jordan, dribble driving around Zayas, some hand checking from Manny, can't dispossess him. They go down low, and that's a kick ball violation. That's going to leave... No, unfortunately for the Beaks, because they kicked the ball. That'll reset the shot clock to 20. So the Beaks were a second away there from holding down the fort and forcing the shot clock violation instead. Here's Scott Lamprin, the dangerous shooter off the inbound pass. Looks for the three instead, drops it off beautifully to Kelly, and that's a wide open miss from Connor Kelly in an up and down game. Let's not forget that miss at the 9-minute mark there on the open layup. Beacons still within 4. McKenzie, that's an offensive foul. So just like that, the Beacons make a good play and they give it right back. McKenzie committing the offensive foul. It's his first. It's the Beacons' fourth of the first half. Neither team effectively in foul trouble yet, so to speak. Just 2 against Colby-Sawyer, 4 against the Beaks. Connor Walden, the freshman out of Marshfield, Mass, big 6'7" forward, anchors up in the post for the Beaks, seeing his first action tonight. He played in 2 of the Beacons' first 3 games on the season, averaging 7 minutes in each, and he averages 2 points per game. Let's see, they go towards the direction of Walden. Now the Beacons in a little 2-3 zone. Great job there by Boone to get Burris up in the air. It draws the foul, and quickly, maybe I shouldn't have touched on foul trouble because the Beacons are inching closer to it. That's their 15th foul. And the second against Tommy Burris. Not what you want to see here. Fouls not too well distributed. 3 players with fouls. 3 of them are starters. And Tommy Burris, Ike Alua, each with 2. So it's Omar Boone. He's hit every shot he's taken, it seemed like today. He's missed 1 long 2. But he hits the first freebie, and into double digits on the night goes the senior out of Colorado City, Texas. Played his first 2 seasons of college basketball at Sul Ross State. That's a Division III school. It's a powerhouse down in Texas for D3 schools. Them, Mary Hardin, Baylor, Trinity College, kind of runs through them basketball-wise, Ripon College as well. Now he finds himself playing ball up in New Hampshire, and tonight having a whale of a game off the bench. Another offensive foul here, and I'm not quite sure. It's going to go against Tommy. Unfortunately, that's his 3rd, and we might not see any more Tommy Burris for the rest of this first half. And just as importantly, the 6th team foul against the Beacons as well. You look up at the scoreboard clock, guys, there's still 8:02 left. And so what that means is any foul committed by the Beacons will be at least a 1-and-1 moving forward until the end of the half for Colby-Sawyer. Harvey and Joanno working a 2-man game. Now they go to Boone. Around the perimeter they go down low to Kelly. He drop steps, spins. It looked like he lost the ball on the way up, but instead it will be a shooting foul, and it's going to go against the Mariano Olivier Rodriguez. Now, he was crashing in to try and provide some help from the backside. I do believe that this is going to take us to a media timeout, and so we do have a couple of free throws coming up, or at least a 1-and-1, but we won't get to those until after we take this break right now. Beacons are hanging around, but the Chargers are holding strong. It's 33-27, 7:50 left to go in the first half. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Well, we'll take a quick look at the stats that got us to this point in the game. And if I told you right now that the Beacons are shooting 11 of 20 from the floor and 3 of 7 from beyond the arc, I think you would love that. You would say, give me that every time. We'll probably be right in the game. Well, Colby-Sawyer shooting 8 of 11 from beyond the arc and 10 of 18 from the floor, and that is how they have gotten to this 6-point lead right now. It's Colby-Sawyer 33, Beacons 27. Connor Kelly misses the first there, and so he's just 1 of 3 from the stripe on the day. This is free throw number 4 for the senior, and he misses that one long, and Lorquette back into the contest, pulls down the rebound. Malik, they gave him all the time that they could afford on the bench. It's a 2-minute break. Now with Tommy Burris on the bench with 3 fouls, you're going to see Malik probably the entirety the rest of this first half. Zayas over. Walden for 3, and that one's just off to the right. Clean look there for the big man. Got to step out on him. Nice to know that that shot is a threat, but the miss now opens up Colby-Sawyer to stretch the lead. The pull-up from Harvey misses wide. Big rebound there from Olivier Rodriguez. And now Zayas back up the court for the Beaks. Manny working on Terrence Harvey. This is a senior lined up across from Zayas. Now he wings it over to the freshman, Xavier McKenzie, at the top of the key. Dribble drive, chop steps, hangs in the air, he misses the shot long, chases after his own rebound. That's last touch by Omar Boone down low, and so it'll stay with the Beacons underneath. Just 10 to shoot for the Beaks as that one goes out off them after the McKenzie rebound, and so they'll have to work quickly off this inbound pass. Zayas surveying the scene. McKenzie flashes open. Thought about the corner 3. Drives. Kicks it out to open Olivier Rodriguez. Corner look for Zayas. Just long. Look at Mariano go down low. Fighting for it. And it's last touch by Connor Kelly. That will get the ball back to the Beacons. And what looked to be a shot clock violation now. 10 fresh seconds to shoot for the Beaks. It might go back up to 20. I think the referee motioned 10. The Beacons will totally take it. So let's see. Zayas on the baseline. A fresh 20 to shoot. So Mariano Olivier Rodriguez, all the congratulations to you. McKenzie, pull and pop. It goes long. Another board for Lorquette. No shots, and we'll back it out. And get it all the way up to Zayas with 15 to shoot at the top of the key. McKenzie trying to dribble up to free some space around Joano. No, passes it to Lorquette. Malik Lorquette, left-handed drive, kicks it out to Walden, and Connor Walden not ready for it. Malik can make so much happen that everyone tends to travel with him. And he drew the double team. Great thinking to get the pass over to Connor Walden. Connor couldn't hold, and so we'll go back the other way. Omar Boone playing a little stretch 3 or stretch 4 on the perimeter. That's going to be a foul on Connor Walden, his first. And team 7th. That's actually already team foul number 8. My apologies. We did have that foul right before the last break. And so 1-and-1 coming here from Connor Kelly. The solace being He hits the first. The solace was going to be that Kelly was 1 of 4 up until this point, but now 2 of 5 from the line with 1 more coming. Quick reset of the stat line here. Malik Lorquette leading the way offensively for the Beacons with 12 points, also leading the way with 6 rebounds. Emmanuel Zayas next up on the score sheet. Manny has 5 points tonight. Kevin Cummings leading the way offensively for Colby-Sawyer along with Omar Boone. Cummings 10 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Boone 11 points on 3 of 4 shooting. They are both 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. And Colby-Sawyer tied for their largest lead of the contest. They've held an 8-point lead one time prior. Great defense from Harvey as he puts his hand on the basketball and forces it free from Lorquette. And now the senior out of Atlanta bringing it back up the hardwood. Left-handed dribble gets cut off by Bobby Joy. Dumps it down low to Kelly. Rising rebound from Boone. The putback no good. And now Zayas charging ahead with a man on the deck. Joy back to Zayas. Manny down low to Lorquette. Has the mismatch. Drives around and finishes for 2 more. You could see Connor Kelly. He was a step late. And then Malik Lorquette didn't overthink it. He just knew, hey, look, I'm probably the best finisher around the rim on this team. I'm going to go for the drive. Easy finish. 14 for Malik. He has almost half the Beacons' points up to this point. And that's going to be a very, very, I got to be honest, unnecessary foul committed by Mariano Olivier Rodriguez, his second, and now the team's 9th. So it'll be a 1-and-1 here, and any foul committed the rest of the way from the Beacons will result in 2 Colby-Sawyer free throws. It's Mike Joanno back at the stripe. Joanno started all 4 games now for the Chargers this season, averaging just 14 minutes per contest. He hits the first free throw, so 1 more coming up for the sophomore out of Burbank, California. 2.3 points per game on the season right now for Joanno. To go back up 8, and he rattles that one home off the back iron. Hard charging defense there from Terrence Harvey Jr. on the back end. He almost poked it off Bobby Joy. And this is a full court press here from Colby-Sawyer. They've shown that they have the depth on the bench. They have plenty of bodies that can stay fresh throughout the game, so they might be using this press basically the entire time that they have a lead. We'll see. Mariano back over to Xavier McKenzie. McKenzie puts the drive in, stops, pulls up, feels the contact, and draws 2 free throws. Smart play there. That's a heady play for a true freshman, knowing where the lane was on the floor to be able to attack and hope to draw the foul. He does draw the foul. It's against Mike Joanno. It's his first. Just the 3rd foul in the first half committed by Colby-Sawyer, but 2 big free throws coming up here for Xavier McKenzie. 5 of 10 from the charity stripe on the season up to this point. First freebie up and good. Silky smooth shot for the freshman who went to Central Catholic High School in Lowell, Mass. Beacon's got to stay in this. This is a crucial part of this ball game right here against the Colby-Sawyer opponent who seemingly is holding this lead right now thanks to their hot shooting. But as this game has kind of found its balance, this is going to be a very tough game opponent for the Beacons. You have to keep this game in single digits, and you want those single digits to be closer to 1 than 9. Right now they're giving 6 to Colby-Sawyer. Cummings stops. That's a long step back, too. That was a tough shot. He almost hit it. It's short off the front iron. Another rebound from Malik Lorquette. He's got 8 rebounds already tonight to go along with 14. Yes, 14 points. Let's see if they look back at him again. There's just no answer defensively on the low block for Colby-Sawyer. Omar Boone's going to try and test. Harvey comes around, applies the double team. A lot of contact, no call, and then he charges in and finally gets a whistle blown against him. It looked like there were 3 opportunities to blow the whistle. And no, the foul's not even going to be going against Harvey. It goes against Scott Lampert down low. You got to hand it to Terrence Harvey Jr. He knows this role on the team. 21 minutes per contest, 7 points per game. But 3 steals per contest in these first 3 games on the season. And they've turned him up definitely defensively, have the Beacons, giving him some opportunities to make plays. Bobby Joy off the inbound, found a lane, floated on through, and he'll draw the second foul in 10 seconds committed by Scott Lamprin. So that's the 2nd on Lamprin, the 5th on the Chargers. Nice to see the Beacons might be able to generate a couple of 1-and-1 looks right at the end of the half here. As it is, Bobby Joy, he's who you want to see at the free throw line for the Beaks. Right now, he's the 2nd leading scorer on the season, averaging 11.5 points per contest. And we mentioned a very hot shooting start from beyond the arc. Bobby, 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. and 4 of 5 from the charity stripe. Some blood on the jersey, so it's a quick break here as we set our athletic trainer tending to Malik Lorquette. That's a very valuable right elbow that he's working on right there. It's a lot of rebounds hauled in, a lot of points scored with that right elbow. So you got to get that covered up. You know, the rule is in NCAA basketball, once you do see blood on a player's jersey, you get 30 seconds to try and get that blood and uniform fixed, and then it's on the other team if they want to keep holding to let Lorquette in. Now, it looks like he's situated right now, not bleeding. It doesn't look like Coach Harris is opting for any sort of sub, so they got the bleeding stopped, and now it's a very quick gauze wrap around the arm. So kudos to Seth. That's nice. He was able to get that done before the second free throw, and Lorquette's going to stay in the contest. One more coming up here for Bobby Joy, and he gets the roll in on the front iron. So that's a big two possessions for the Beacons. That's a big 4 points. They get the bucket down low, they get a stop, and they get 2 free throws back to make this a 4-point game again. Need one more stop here with 4:18 on the clock, and Lorquette pokes it free, and he's ahead of Boone, and he lays it in for 2. 16 points for Malik Lorquette, doing it himself. The Beacons trailing by just 2 now. It's 37-35. Caraballo around the perimeter, down low to Boone, and Omar Boone, the up stop, and he gets poked free by Xavier McKenzie. Joy picks it up. Bobby Joy charging ahead. Over to Zayas. Manny gets chopped at by Joanno, keeps the dribble alive, looks to his right, keeps it around. Left-handed dribble into the lane. Shot is long. Lorquette tips it up and gets the rebound himself, but he stepped on the out-of-bounds line. It is going to be the 9th rebound of the contest for Malik Lorquette. But then in spinning to try and get the ball back to his Beacons teammates, he steps on the out-of-bounds line, and a full timeout taken underneath. And so we'll take a full timeout as well. 3:43 left to go here in the first half. We've got a fun one from the Clark Athletic Center. It's Chargers 37, Beacons 35. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
And we're back underway inside the Clark Athletic Center. 3:34 on a running clock. Your Beacons trailing by 2, but they've scored the last 6 points in this contest and have upped the defensive intensity here. Kevin Cummings, he has 10 points today, including 3 made three-pointers. Step back, tough 2, and that one goes long. And Xavier McKenzie skies up for a rebound, pestered by 2 Colby-Sawyer Chargers. Ultimately swings over to Manny Zayas, and the Beacons are going to clear with a second to spare. Bobby Joy thought about the baseline drive. He'll circle it back around, and 17 to shoot now for the Beacons, trying to either tie the game or retake the lead. Joy over to Olivier Rodriguez. Mariano for the lead from straight on in and out. You couldn't get closer to a make than that, and the rebound hauled in by Zach Carabello, and so we'll go back the other way. Carabello, 6 points per contest, and he misses off the front iron there. That's a big shooter. But Omar Boone, another bucket as he just reaches up and puts that one right in off the backboards. Omar Boone leading all scorers for Colby-Sawyer with 13. Malik Lorquette leading all scorers in this game with 16. And that's going to be a reach-in against Mike Joanno, his second. So resetting the foul situation, 2 players on Colby-Sawyer with 2. It's Scott Lamprin and Mike Joanno, and those are their starting point guard and shooting guards respectively. Daniel Jordan, Kevin Cummings, each with 1 foul. For the Beacons, Tommy Burris already with 3. Ike Alua and Mariano Olivier Rodriguez each with 2. So both teams dealing with foul issues. You can't say in full-blown foul trouble at this point. We still have 22 and a half minutes of basketball in front of us here. 2:30 on a running clock as Malik Lorquette gets the pass from Zayas, kicks it out, cross-court look, Joy for three, and it's short, but Lorquette skies up, gets the rebound, and he's fouled. He'll get a chance at points 17 and 18 on the night at the charity stripe. And folks, 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in this contest, and Malik Lorquette already has a double-double. So how about that? That is a man on a mission down low. Foul against Connor Kelly. It's his first, team's 7th. That foul's on the shot, I believe, so Lorquette should be shooting 2. So I missed the action on the court there. But it looks like we had a T called against Colby-Sawyer, and then we'll be shooting 2 from the shot on the foul. So this is a fortuitous break here for the Beacons. You're going to get a 1 shot with Bobby Joy. You can pick who you want to shoot the tech. And he sinks it, so that's good. First step done. And now Lorquette gets to go to the line to shoot 2, and everyone will head back to the lane. We'll figure out what happened there at halftime, and we'll report that back to you. I think, looking at the body language from the referee, because obviously we can't hear this conversation between Coach Kagler and the referee, that might have been a flop technical. There's no warning anymore. It's just the second it happens, you get the technical called against you, and I think that might be what they're discussing. Lorquette lines in the free throw. The Beacons are back within 2. Joano's back on the bench, so he might have been the guilty party there. However it happened, the Beacons are now back to within 2, a chance to make it 1. Lorquette, no, misses the free throw there. First miss from the line on the night for Malik, but he's got 17 points to go along with his 10 boards. Boone blocked by Lorquette, and we'll look ahead. Zayas has McKenzie ahead. Instead, Manny stops on a dime, goes across court, and that's intercepted by Cummings. 2 different Chargers saw what Manny was trying to do there. Cummings now. He's always looking for that 3-point shot. Instead, cross-court pass to Boone. McKenzie doesn't get the steal. Boone is blocked by Lorquette again. 2 plays in a row. Here comes Joy. Lorquette down the lane. No, he misses it. That could have been 19 with a chance for 20. But as it is, Malik Lorquette, the senior out of Sharon, Massachusetts, striding to the free throw line with a chance to knot this game back up at 39. Colby-Sawyer has had an answer for a lot. They do not have an answer right now for number 21. And Malik at the stripe with a chance to tie. First one misses a bit long. Lorquette coming into action tonight. 91%. That's a bit uncharacteristic for Malik. Right around 53 as a career free throw shooter here. But he makes that one. So Malik now 3 of 6 from the charity stripe on the night. He's got 18 points to go along with his 10 boards, and he gets a well-deserved, probably needed break on the Beacons bench. Connor Walden back in, so you're 5 on the floor. Bobby Joy, Xavier McKenzie in the front, or pardon me, in the backcourt. Zayas right now playing your stretch 3, and then it's Walden and Olivier Rodriguez in the front court. Oh, beautiful head fake there by Connor Kelly. He fakes the handoff. He lays it in with the left hand, and Zach Caraballo did a great job running the little decoy play there to set up Kelly to spin and lay it in. McKenzie now probing in, nothing there, and so he'll walk it back out. Looks in the direction of Manny Zayas. Zayas, a long 3 for the tie is short. It was online, but it was short. And now Caraballo and the Chargers working a 3-on-2. Cummings, no. Half expected that one to be automatic from that spot. And now Zayas charging head, gets right around Caraballo and lays it in for 2. Manny Zayas, the slightest of head fakes, and Zach Caraballo, probably the most effective perimeter defender for Colby-Sawyer. He got just beat cleanly by Manny Zayas. Pull-up jumper is long by Daniel Jordan. It's poked out of bounds by Kevin Cummings. And so now the Beacons, they have a chance to work a 2-for-1. They trail by 1. 48 seconds left in this first half. Malik Lorquette is back in. And so now you're 5 on the floor for the Beaks. Joy, Zayas, Olivier Rodriguez, McKenzie, and Lorquette. Lorquette sets the screen. Zayas, left-handed dribble drive, gets cut off by Boone, gets held by Boone, and they call that a jump ball. Heady play there from Omar Boone to able to reach in and get his hands on the ball. Coach Kagler asking for a timeout. He'll take a 30-second timeout, and that, not what the Beacons wanted right there. They don't get a chance to put a shot off. Now they have to get a stop for a chance to take the lead before halftime. They take a quick break. We'll take a quick break. 38 seconds left here in this first half. Beacons trailing by 1. It's Chargers 41, Beacons 40.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I do.
We'll hop back into the action here. Malik Lorquette with 17, Emmanuel Zayas with 7, and right now that's keeping the Beacons within 1, but a hot shooting start for Colby-Sawyer has the Chargers in a surprising spot, leading this game 41-40. They won't be able to work a 2-for-1 here, and they tried to burn off some more clock than maybe they needed. Cummings is going to step into a long 3. He misses long. He made his first 3 out of 4. He's missed 3 in a row from beyond the arc. Now Zayas driving in. No angle. He kicks it out to Joy deep in the right corner. Bobby asking for the timeout. Yeah, he called the timeout. I think he thought the ref acknowledged it from the jump. The side referee then pointed to the baseline referee, and they do acknowledge the timeout. And so one more time, guys, we'll take one last quick break. 6.6 seconds left on the clock. So we'll have one more play when we come back on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
So 6.6 seconds left to go in this first half. Beacons trailing by 1. They're enjoying an 18-10 rebound performance already from Malik Lorquette. Need to see some of the supporters here up their input on the offensive end. But the Beaks with a chance to take the lead before halftime here. Zayas inbounds it to Lorquette, and it's a botched handoff, and so it'll go back the other way. Not quite sure what the play that was drawn up in the huddle there, but you can guarantee Coach Harris did not draw that up, and so that'll be a tongue lashing in the locker room. One more look at the 3 at the buzzer, and that's pulled up and missed short into the left from Daniel Jordan, and that'll do it. And it feels fitting that we hit this halftime with a 1-point lead for Colby-Sawyer. They were hot out of the gate. They were making more outside shot than the Beacons, and they've earned this 1-point lead as we've played our first 20 minutes of basketball. At halftime, the Colby-Sawyer College Chargers 41, the UMass Boston Beacons 40. We'll take a little break, and when we come back, halftime numbers after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact, not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just a starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like the place that people want to go.
What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands up to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
And we'll rejoin you here from high atop the Clark Athletic Center. The Beacons trailing by 1 to the Colby-Sawyer College Chargers at halftime. It's Chargers 41, Beacons 40. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. I'm Chris Del Certo calling the action for you. Just 2 players in double figures for Colby-Sawyer and just 1 for the Beaks, but still a pretty solid offensive game. Let's take a look at the stats side by side. The Beacons are out shooting the Chargers, but not where it matters. As you can see, the Beacons 44%, the Chargers 37.5%, but Colby-Sawyer is hitting beyond the arc right now, still over 50%. They are 9 of 17 from their 3-ball attempts in the first half, and the Beacons just 23% from long range. Both teams with nothing to complain about at the free throw line. The Beacons winning the rebound battle, doubling up Colby-Sawyer, 26 rebounds to the Chargers 13. How long will that advantage last for? It may last all game. If it shrinks and Colby-Sawyer can kind of get back in, well then where's the Beacons' answer going to be? 9 assists for the Beacons, 6 for Colby-Sawyer, and there you go, 10 turnovers in comparison to just 3 committed by Colby-Sawyer. What's that narrative going to be? Is Colby-Sawyer going to finally come back to reality and start committing turnovers again? Or are the Beacons the sloppier of the 2 teams? We've had a neck-and-neck first half, so that second half will prove a lot. Well, the last time I joined you here on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, it was a basketball game between UMass Boston and Colby-Sawyer. The 2 women's teams doing duel, and it was a very fun game that saw some strong individual performances out of the sophomore Sunny Green and the senior Carrie Ann Farina. We have the highlights. Let's take a look at the Beacons' 18-point win over Colby-Sawyer College.
UMass Boston women's basketball at home Tuesday night, taking on Colby-Sawyer College. The Beacons looking to move to 2-0 on the young season. And early on, it would be all Sunny Green. Sabela Jensen with the miss from the corner. Green cleans up the boards, lays it home. Beacons ahead by 3 early on in this one. And then Green, yet again, a little while later, gets this one on the inbound from Jensen. Jumper from the LEC logo, puts the Beacons ahead by 6, but some shooting woes in the first quarter would find the Beacons behind by 3, and they would turn that around real quickly as Meg Dixon with the jumper right there. And then Sonny Green from beyond the arc bangs this one home, nothing but net. Beacons ahead 17-15. And then a back and forth quarter would ensue. Sonny Green from the corner now from Dixon in the middle knocks that one down. The Beacons ahead by 3, and then trailing 22-20, the Beacons go on a 7-0 run to finish off the second quarter, and it culminates in Carrie Ann Farina's buzzer beater 3 from beyond half court. And the Beacons swing momentum in their favor going into the locker room. And coming out of the locker room, the momentum would continue as the Beacons make it a 10-0 run to start the third quarter. And in fact, between the second and third quarter would go on a total of 17 straight points before Colby-Sawyer would hit a basket, as you say. Paige Olivier with the miss right there. Sabela Jensen cleans up the board, lays it up. And the Beacons continue to expand that lead as the Colby-Sawyer Chargers forced to call timeout. But the Beacons would just continue from there as it's Meg Dixon from beyond the arc. Nails that one. The Beacons now up double digits. And then Sonny Green capping it off, continuing her hot night. This one from the right side. And one opportunity as she's fouled on the three-point attempt. Green finished the game with her first double-double in her career, 15 points, 10 rebounds. In the fourth quarter, the Chargers would threaten Marissa Holt with that three-pointer, would cut the Beacon lead to just 10, but then a 12-0 run from the Beacons would help secure the win as Sabela Jensen with the steal right there lays it home, and the Beacons re-up their lead to 13. But they were not done yet. They would go up by as many as 22 points in this one as Olivier from beyond the arc nails that 3. The Beacons now stretch that lead to 15 and force the Chargers to call a timeout with just over 4 minutes left. But Olivier again, this one from the right side, working in her defender, gets it in, tough layup, falls. The Beacons lead continues to stretch out. Carrie Ann Farina, explosive from the left side, lays it up and in. And now the Beacons up by 20 points. That would put a dagger in it. And then Sabela Jensen caps it all off with a nice pass from Sierra Brigham to lay it up and in. The Beacons go up by 22 points and end up winning this one 59-41 over the Chargers. The Beacons now will head on the road to the Hunter College Invitational this Friday and Saturday in New York City.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
All right, very quickly, we'll join you again from here high atop the Clark Athletic Center. Still halftime, still about 4 minutes and 15 seconds until we get the second half started. We'll take a look around the LEC. No conference basketball yet in the Little East Conference, but a litany of non-conference affairs, and so let's take a look. Bridgewater State, they were victorious against your Beacons by 12. They blow out the RIC Anchormen 96-72. Then it's the Bantams of Trinity College beating ECSU. Those schools very close to each other. That's a little bit of a border war right there. Trinity beating the Warriors of ECSU 86-71. Keene State victorious over Springfield in a big way. They win by 38, 113-75. Leslie and Castleton, that game didn't get off the ground tonight. It was postponed. Brandeis and UMass Dartmouth, they are at halftime down in Dartmouth with the judges of Brandeis University leading by 9. It's 41-32. And then up in Gorham, Maine, Bates College currently leading over the USM Wolves. That score 42-35. And one more time, UMass Boston trailing Colby-Sawyer 40-41. We have about 3 minutes until the start of the second half. We'll take one last 3-minute break. When we come back, the second half between the Beacons and the Chargers. After this, on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Chargers 41, Beacons 40. Let's get back underway here at the Clark Athletic Center. Beacons going to have the ball working right to left now on your computer screen. Beacons in their home all-white New Balance uniforms with a beautiful shade of aquamarine teal for their numerals and lettering. Xavier McKenzie off a pick, explodes in and finishes with the left-handed layup, and that is a beautiful way to start off the second half for the Beacons. It was all Colby-Sawyer in the first opening minutes of the half number one, and so it took just 8 seconds for the Beaks to spin the block and lay it up and in. And the big contributions continuing for the true freshman Xavier McKenzie out of Lowell, Mass. So the Beacons, for the first time since I want to say the 16-minute mark in the first half, are in front. And this time they aim to stretch it out a little bit here. Malik Lorquette, he's got 18 and 10 in the first half. Lowers his shoulder in. Quick left-handed crossover dribble. Down low to Alua. Shot no good. Malik just got his first assist of the contest. Was vying for number 2 right there. Couldn't get it done. And so we'll go back the other way now with Terrence Harvey Jr. on the ball for Colby-Sawyer. 2 points in the first half for number 5. Kevin Cummings, 10 points. He cooled off significantly as the half wore on. Joanno, big drive right on through 2 defenders, but he misses the layup long. Alua loses it, trying to pass it ahead to Zayas, and it's last touch by Ike Alua. Some nice sportsmanship there as you see a couple of Chargers helping him up off the hardwood. Some skin cells left on the court there from Ike. A lot of hustle there. He was gunning hard down the court. He saw Manny out of the corner of his eye, and I think he was halfway between continuing the dribble and passing it over to Manny. Then the ball was in no man's land. Ike had to try and dive and keep it alive. It's out off Alua. So the ball with Colby-Sawyer, the possession arrow with Colby-Sawyer, the lead with the Beacons, and that's nice to see as they're back up 42-41. Lamprin, that take, nothing there as he turns his back to the basket. McKenzie, I think he might have taken that pass that was intended for Alua away from him, just a hair too long on the layup attempt. And here comes Cummings charging back down the left side, going the other way for Colby-Sawyer. He gets cut off. Great defense there from Burris, who's got to be careful with 3 personal fouls. Shot is missed long. Lorquette, rebound number 11, and we'll take it back the other way. Alua caught in between a pass and a dribble, and I think he got, I'll be honest, he did get bailed out right there with the Colby-Sawyer foul because that was bound to be a traveling violation against Alua. Instead, it is the 3rd personal foul now against Mike Joannos, and that's, hey, he wasn't intending to do that. I can tell you that right now. That was not Ike Alua's intention, but he draws the 3rd foul committed by Joanno, who is very quickly back on the bench for the Chargers. Inbound goes to McKenzie. Xavier out on the right wing, left-handed dribble, trying to probe around Scott Lamprin. He does, pulls up, a lot of contact, no good. Harvey got the rebound right down near the baseline. He keeps the play alive and looks ahead to Kelly. Kelly on the low block, hauls it in, drives in on Lorquette, spins, kicks it out to Omar Boone, who just entered this contest, misses the 3 long. That's just the 2nd miss from beyond the arc for Boone, who was 3 of 4 in the first half. Zayas puts it on the deck, swings it over. Corner 3 on the way for Alua, goes long. McKenzie crashes in, almost pokes it free, but the rebound hauled in by Terrence Harvey Jr. Now Harvey looks to his right, looks to his left, and the pass is stolen by Lorquette. Pass up ahead is tipped up by McKenzie, and he hits it off the scoreboard. In volleyball, that's a live ball. In basketball, can't do it, and so we'll go back the other way. It's not like baseball where you can kind of set house rules. If this was baseball and you said ahead of time, no, that scoreboard's in play, then they just would have had to keep playing. In volleyball, it is in play. Here in basketball, it's a turnover, and that means they'll get to walk it up to the coach's hash. We'll reset the floor right now for the Chargers of Colby-Sawyer College. It's Scott Lamprin and Terrence Harvey Jr. in the backcourt. Connor Kelly, the center. Great tip there by Alua. They read that pass intended for Boone very nicely, and Alua tips it out. And then out on the wings, you have both Kevin Cummings and Omar Boone. So Harvey, Boone, Cummings, Lamprin, and Kelly. And that's a 3-ball. Foul on the play committed by Xavier McKenzie. Weak contact, but contact nonetheless. It happens right in front of the official. And so that's the 2nd personal foul against Xavier. Just the 1st team foul against the Beacons in half number 2. Coach Harris not a fan of the call, and so he'll share a quick word with the referee. It'll be 3 shots coming up here for Scott Lamprin. Taking just 2 free throws on the season coming into action tonight. He makes his first, and he's 2 of 2 in those prior 2 attempts on the season with Scott Lamprin. Up to 5 points now. Make it 6 with 1 more on the way for the senior out of Concord, New Hampshire. Lamprin 1 of 3 on the floor on the night. He's missed his 2 2-point attempts. He's made his lone 3-point attempt. And he goes 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. So that lead lasts 2 minutes and 40 seconds for the Beaks. And they're back behind Colby-Sawyer. Score now 44-42. Zayas driving in. Picks up his dribble. Has McKenzie. McKenzie in the post. Circles it back out. He had a couple of Chargers closing in on him. Alua flashes open. Ike spinning. Jumper just long in and out. And we'll go back the other way. Lamprin keeps the dribble alive out on the right wing. Probing around McKenzie, gets right past Xavier. And I'm not sure if that was a business decision or just a misread on the play by Xavier McKenzie, because he was caught out of position. Reach and foul committed there by Terrence Harvey Jr. It's just his 1st foul of the contest. It is the 2nd team foul of the half against Colby-Sawyer. And for the Beaks, Tommy Burris, this is going to be a delicate game to play with number 13 the rest of this contest. He has 3 personal fouls. He hasn't picked up a 4th, but they're going to give him a break here. Zayas coming off as well. Bobby Joy back on. along with Mariano Olivier Rodriguez. And Mariano down on the right block, kicks it out. Joy, open three. Got it! Straight on three from Bobby Joy, and he is now back up to 50% on the season. 4 of 8 from beyond the arc on the year for Bobby Joy, and the Beacons back to within 1, and the block by Alua. Rebound from Lorquette. Joy springs Lorquette. Malik can't keep the dribble alive. Great last gasp defense from Scott Lampert, and now Kevin Cummings working the other way. That ball's poked free by Alua. They look back up to Terrence Harvey Jr. Around they go. Lamprin, the lefty, long three. He misses short and to the left. Big rebound there for Kelly. Kelly back to the basket. Posts up Lorquette. Malik waiting. Kelly spinning. Kelly winning. Beautiful spin move from Connor Kelly as that right foot was the pivot foot the whole time, and Malik Lorquette jumped one move too soon. Kelly spinning and finishing, and it puts Colby-Sawyer back up 2. It's 48-45 Chargers. Pardon me, back up 3, 48-45 Chargers. Lorquette vying for another spin move, and he picked up this pivot foot. You can't do that. That's the 11th turnover of the contest for the Beaks. They committed 9 in the first half, 2 so far in the second half. And we have a full timeout called by Coach Harris. The Beacons had a pretty good start in the first minute of the second half. Haven't done anything with it since, and they still find themselves down 3. 15:23 left to go in the second half. Chargers 48, Beacons 45. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
We are back here at the Clark Athletic Center. The Beacons trailing 48-45 against the Colby-Sawyer College Chargers. Omar Boone enjoying a hot start, getting some help from Kevin Cummings in the scoring department. And Colby-Sawyer, they jumped out to that lead about 4 minutes into the game. They never lost it in the first half. The Beacons were able to take the lead back for like the first minute of the second half, but then the Chargers enjoying a 6-0 run of their own right. Bryson Gully into the contest for the first time for the Beaks. He swings it around. Bobby Joy hands it off to Burris. Now Burris looking over at Gully. Thought about the three. They gave it to him for a split second. He'll take it. Long three, just short. Crashing in is Olivier Rodriguez, and Mariano is the last to touch it. So back we go to Colby-Sawyer. Both teams started the game shooting much better. It's significantly calmed down. The Beacons are now 41% from the field. Colby-Sawyer 33% from the field. Colby-Sawyer 8 of 18 for 44% beyond the arc. And the Beaks 4 of 16 for all of our quick math fans. Just 25% beyond the arc. But a big block from McKenzie. And back we go the other way. Olivier Rodriguez has Gully to his left, instead pulls up and hits. Contested 2 for Mariano. He takes on all comers and finishes. Had Gully to his left, said, no, I got it myself. And that he did, and the Beacons back to within 1, looking for another stop. Lamprin, cut off, high at the key from McKenzie. Xavier flashing both arms, trying to cut off any lateral range here. Lamprin got inside and he got fouled. I'm not quite sure if it's going to go against McKenzie. Maybe Bobby Joy. Gully was around the play too, but it is going to go against Xavier McKenzie, and so that is the second Beacon now with 3 personal fouls. Xavier has 3, 2 team fouls in the second half against the Beacons. Taking a look at like the spray chart, if you will, of the fouls. Xavier McKenzie, Tommy Burris, each with 3. Ike Alua, Mariano Olivier Rodriguez with 2. And Scott Lampert is now 4 for 4 from the free throw line on the day. And 1 more coming. Kevin Cummings back on the floor, along with Omar Boone. So those are 2 players who made it rain from beyond the arc in the first half. Lampert rolls that one through. He is 5 for 5 from the stripe on the night. And Malik Lorquette, who was enjoying a very abbreviated rest on the bench, he's already back at the scorer's table. McKenzie Frees some space, kicks it over to Gully. Gully almost lost it out of bounds. Has Joy, top of the key for three. Got it! Bobby Joy is locked and loaded to start this 2022-2023 season, and the Beaks knotted back up at 50. Joy fronting Harvey. Harvey dumps it down low to Lamprin. Lamprin frees up some room, pulls it back, and hits. And Scott Lamprin is 2 for 2 from beyond the arc and 5 for 5 from the free throw line. He's got 13. He's now tied for a team high. Gully around the perimeter to McKenzie. McKenzie asking for the Burris pick. Instead dribbles left, has some space, draws the foul on Harvey. I believe that's going to be the guilty party here. No, actually, number 2, Daniel Jordan. So that for Jordan is his second foul. It would have been Harvey's second foul. And 3 team fouls against Colby-Sawyer. And so the Beacons currently winning the race to 1-1. They have 3 fouls drawn against Colby-Sawyer. They've committed just 2. Lorquette gets the entry off the inbound. Left-handed drive gets cut off. Has Burris over to Joy. Bobby back on the deck, gets cut off by Jordan, and that is the second foul in 5 seconds committed by Daniel Jordan right in front of the referee, and that's a true freshman out of Coral Springs, Florida. He's quickly back to the Colby-Sawyer bench from head coach Kagler there, and you know, that might just be an emotion play. You have a spirited freshman out there playing hard, making some big plays on offense for Colby-Sawyer. Saddled with his 3rd foul, not too happy with it. Burris, corner 3, misses short. Lorquette got hit in the eye, I believe, by his teammate, Olivier Rodriguez, but that ball was last touched. No, okay, so there was a mistake. It was pointed to the wrong side by the referee because he pointed like that was going to stay Beacon's ball, and you have every player on UMass Boston retreating back to play defense, so it will go back to Colby-Sawyer, and the lead remains 53-50. Beacons still out shooting the Chargers now by 9%. Well, not anymore. Scott Lamprin drives right on in and hits another layup. And all of a sudden, he has awoken. Team's 3rd leading scorer entering action. He was their 2nd leading scorer last season. Corner 3 is there for Mariano Olivier Rodriguez, and that is huge. It gets the Beaks back to within 2. It's 55-53. Back up top, they go to Omar Boone. All of a sudden, this is turning into a mano-a-mano fest. Lamprin keeps the dribble alive. Now it's going to be a step back. How do you do? Scott Lamprin deep into his bag of tricks. He's made 2 threes, a couple of nifty pullback jumpers. Colby-Sawyer still holding that 4-point lead rather comfortably. Joy driving in. Wow, Terrence Harvey Jr. was right there, but he couldn't stop Bobby, and the left-handed layup is good. Boone stretching the floor. Rebound, no good. Poked ahead to Olivier Rodriguez. Here's McKenzie. Burying it on Caraballo. Layup no good. Follow-up no good. Burris climbing the ladder, and it's finally good. Woo! Well, that's a great way to increase the team rebounding numbers right there as the Beaks got 4, and it's finally Tommy Burris capping it off with a layup. But Terrence Harvey Jr., like the senior that he is, back on the other end with an answer bucket for Colby-Sawyer, and a traveling violation against the Beaks is going to give the ball back to the Chargers. We have a timeout on the floor. It's a media timeout, and so we'll let our friends at the NCAA pay the bills. 11:35 left to go here in the second half. Beaks trailing by 2. It's a fun one. Colby-Sawyer 59, UMass Boston 57.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
So we'll rejoin you here at the Clark Athletic Center, the Beacons in a close one with Colby-Sawyer College trailing the Chargers 59-57. Malik Lorquette leading the way for the Beacons. He's got 18 points to go along with 11 rebounds. Not all that much support behind him. Bobby Joy has come off the bench for an 11-point explosion. He is 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Next closest player scoring-wise is Manny Zayas with 7, and then the next 3 closest players, Burris, Alua, and McKenzie, all with 5. And so The Beacons need to spread out that scoring output if they want to keep up with this high-flying Colby-Sawyer offense. It finally arrived after 3 games of kind of struggling to get out of the gate. And Scott Lampert, big reason for that. He had just 5 points in the first half. I was going to say vying for 12 here in the second half, but he's in double digits with 10. McKenzie fighting around Harvey. Harvey can't get the steal. Lorquette sets the pick, and that frees up some room for Xavier McKenzie. Drives in, the freshman pulling up and hitting his 3rd bucket of the game, and Xavier McKenzie now with 8 points, and the Beacons tying it back up at 59 apiece. What a game we are having here at the Clark Athletic Center. Beacons looking to move to 2-1. Colby-Sawyer trying to avoid an 0-4 start, and Omar Boone saddled with a turnover there for traveling. The Beacons, up to this point, seem to be the only team even committing any turnovers. They've already committed 14. That's just the 4th turnover of the game for Colby-Sawyer. You want to see how this game is still tied 59's up with 11 minutes left to go. That's how you do it. Only commit 4 turnovers. Connor Kelly back at the scorer's table. He couldn't get checked back in time. And so let's see if the Beacons might have a personnel mismatch here. Lorquette, pretty spin move to free up some space. Up and under, and he lays it in for 2 more. 20 points now to go along with 11 rebounds for Malik Lorquette. And the Beacons back up by 2. Boone driving in, gets cut off, and it's the 2nd traveling violation in a row. Referee quickly telling Coach Kegler he doesn't want to hear it. He was right in front of it. And let's see how animated this discussion gets. You have 2 coaches. We all know, knowing the Beacons, Coach Harris has no problem showing his emotion in the coaching's box. Coach Kegler, a very animated head coach as well. And both of these coaches have had a lot to say to the referees this entire contest. That didn't lead to anything more than a mere turnover. But we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. That pass was intended for Burris. It's poked by Jordan, and now here's Lampert ahead of the pack. Almost lost it, but he regains control and puts in another layup for his 19th point of the night. Once again, we're tied up at 61. This game cannot find a direction to take right now as McKenzie trying to get it down low to Lorquette, and that, I believe, is going to be a hooking foul underneath against Connor Kelly. That it is. So for the senior out of Charlestown, his 2nd personal, but the 5th team foul, pardon me, of half number 2 against Colby-Sawyer. And there's one way to close out a game in the second half. It's to get to shoot a lot of free throws, and the Beacons are on pace to do that here. McKenzie on the left wing, facing Caraballo. Right-handed dribble. He gets some space, crosses over, kicks it out. Zayas, corner 3. No, it's long. Rebound hauled in by Omar Boone. He's probably pretty close to a double-double at this point of the game in his own right. We'll check back on that momentarily. Layup is good for Connor Kelly as he gets right around Tommy Burris and puts the Chargers back up to 63-61. Omar Boone now 5 rebounds, to go along with his 15 points. McKenzie thought about a drive, instead wings it around to Zayas. Down low they go to Lorquette. Back up to Manny Zayas. Tommy Burris, corner 3. In and out, but McKenzie is there for the rebound. Dribbles around Jordan, kicks it out to Zayas. Zayas back across court to Burris. That's Bobby Joy. Dumps it down low to Lorquette, who goes up and under with the right hand. That's going to be the assist of Bobby Joy's night. That's just a ho-hum bucket at this point for Malik Lorquette, but he's got 22, and we're knotted back up at 63. 9 minutes left on a running clock. What a game this has turned into in the Clark Athletic Center. Colby-Sawyer had me fooled for a team that's winless through their first 3 games. Caraballo 3 is good. You can't leave Zach Caraballo open. Coming into action, he, just 1.3 points per contest, but he averaged 6.5 last year. Started almost every game last season. That's a big bench player with a huge bucket, and that's going to be a foul on the aforementioned Zach Caraballo, and the 6th foul against Colby-Sawyer. So any whistle against the Chargers the rest of the way, and the bright spot here, the Beacons will be shooting free throws. It is what it is. They're still trailing by 3, but that sets them up very nicely. Also, look at the scoreboard. The Beacons have committed just 2 fouls this half in their own right. Burris comes off in favor of Olivier Rodriguez. Zayas to inbound. He'll go out to Xavier McKenzie at the top of the key. Xavier, 8 points on the night. Puts the left shoulder down, drives in through 2, and can't get the ball to fall. And Boone comes in and wrestles away his 6th rebound of the night. And Kelly is ahead of the pack. And how did that happen? 2 more for the big man. Tallest man on the floor, and yet he goes unnoticed behind the Beacons defense. Colby-Sawyer, just like that, they're back up 5. Beacons have been able to get the game back tied There have been a couple instances of a 1-point Beacons lead, but Colby-Sawyer still kind of held control of this contest. Zayas lost the dribble. Joy picks it up. He's blocked by Kelly, but Lorquette skies up. Can't put the putback in. This is a huge possession. The Beacons need a stop here. Colby-Sawyer up 5, driving again, and that's going to be a whistle on Bobby Joy, just the 3rd team foul against the Beacons, and just the 1st personal foul on Bobby Joy in the contest. That'll bring us to our next media timeout. 7 minutes, 52 seconds left to go here in the contest, and the Beacons fought back in, but still have to do that probably a couple more times. Beacons 63, Chargers 68. More after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
So for Colby-Sawyer, it was Kevin Cummings and Omar Boone, the story of the first half, as they scored 10 for Cummings, 13 for Boone, respectively. Neither has scored in the second half, and yet Scott Lamprin has been carrying the load for Colby-Sawyer in this half number 2. He already has 12 points in just the first 13 minutes of the second half, and they have been using the efforts of the senior point guard out of Concord, New Hampshire, en route to a 5-point lead right now in the second half. Boone spinning, he got fouled, and he hit the jumper, and don't look now, but that might be the 3rd Beacon with 3 personals. That it is. Ike Alua picks up his 3rd, and so now 4 team fouls against the Beaks. 3 personals against Alua. He joins Xavier McKenzie and Tommy Burris as the 2 other Beacons in substantial foul trouble at this point of the contest. And now Boone, with 15 points to his name tonight, strides to the charity stripe for 1 more. And he hits. So 16 now for Omar Boone, the transfer senior center out of Colorado City, Texas. Puts Colby-Sawyer up 8, 71-63. Now Alua almost loses it along the left sideline. Zayas and Alua get it back. They go down low to Lorquette. A very effective double team being deployed against Lorquette here in the second half. So Zayas drives in, almost loses it, has to wing it out towards Olivier Rodriguez. It's tipped out by Caraballo. And just 7 to shoot now for the Beaks, as it'll be a baseline inbound here. Beacons were able to capitalize on a couple of quick looks down to Lorquette in a similar situation in the first half. Haven't really been able to get Lorquette going. Instead, Zayas going to try and fire a corner 3. McKenzie reels it in. That putback is no good. Alua no good. Alua's putback is no good again, but he's fouled, and he'll get to go to the line to shoot 2. And that is the 7th team foul of the second half. And so, very important here, as Caraballo, the guilty party, that's just his first. Beacons will be in the 1-and-1 at least for every Colby-Sawyer foul the rest of the way. That sets up the path for a comeback here. You can come back into a basketball game if the opportunities are in front of you at the free throw line. Unfortunately, you got to take advantage of them, and Alua misses his first of 2. On the season, Ike 80% coming into action tonight. That was his first free throw attempted tonight, so he's got 1 more coming. The sophomore out of Princeton rolls that one home, and so the Beacons back to within 7. But as this time dwindles down here, the needs for stops become that much more paramount. McKenzie fronting Harvey. Harvey slips it off to Boone. No room for Boone to operate, so he goes right back to Harvey. We're under 7 minutes now. 6:56 on a running clock here as Harvey crossover, trying to free up some space. Great reach in there by Alua to poke it free, and ultimately McKenzie tips it free, and it's picked up by Mariano Olivier Rodriguez. Now Manny Zayas running ahead of the pack. No look pass to Lorquette, who steps in the layup. No, it's just off the front iron, and back the other way goes Kelly and Harvey. Harvey, Euro step, layup is good, counted and one. And the worst possible time for Ike Alua to pick up his 4th personal foul happens right there. The 15th foul of the second half. Colby-Sawyer back up 9. And now it's going to be full-fledged comeback mode for the Beacons in the last 6.5 minutes. Bobby Joy back on the floor here for UMass Boston as Terrence Harvey Jr. with a chance for his 7th point of the contest. Up and good. So the senior from Atlanta now 3 of 5 from the floor, 1 of rum from the free throw line. And the Beacons down 10. This is Colby-Sawyer's largest lead since probably 10 minutes in the first half. Their largest lead in the contest was an 11-point lead. Joy, straight away, huge 3. Oh, the Beacons needed that, and they got it. And Bobby Joy now 3 of 4 from beyond the arc today. 4 of 6 from the field. He's got 12, and he's second on the Beaks in scoring tonight. Lorquette with 22, Joy with 12, McKenzie with 8, and Zayas with 7. Pardon me, that brings Bobby Joy up to 15 on the night. Lamprin's shot is off, but Kelly gets the rebound right over Lorquette, and the foul on the floor committed by Malik Lorquette. The Beacons had the separation in the fouls where they wanted it, and now the Beacons have committed 4 team fouls in the past 2 minutes. No free throws yet, but Lorquette picks up his first, and it's a baseline inbound and a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Kelly, very nonchalant with that, almost lost it out of bounds side out. Lorquette applying the pressure defensively, so now it's Lamprin. That miss on the 3 seemed like his first miss of the contest. It was his second. That is a jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to keep it with Colby-Sawyer. Would have been a big opportunity there to get a free possession back. Instead, the possession arrow does keep it with the Chargers. Lamprin will do the inbound here. He wanted the foul call. No whistle to be had. Harvey drops on the deck, and it's another steal. Olivier Rodriguez, 2 steals in the past minute. Zayas stops, spins, he gets cut off, looks to reset back at the top of the key. Over to McKenzie. Around the perimeter they go. Olivier Rodriguez, corner 3, got it! That was giant! And the Beacons are back to within 4. UMass Boston not known for their outside shooting. Going back to the Mitchells and DiGregorio on offense last year, it was a outside-in approach. You want to finish around the basket. Right now they are using some hot second half outside shooting to claw into this contest. Zayas, great defense there. He pokes that one free. Admittedly, if we can be honest, honesty hour, trust tree guys, it feels like the Beacons should be in front of this game. They have committed 16 more turnovers than Colby-Sawyer. They're shooting better. They're shooting better from beyond the arc. They're still down by 4, but right now all the pieces in place to steal this victory. And I hope the basketball team in watching this game back doesn't get mad at me for saying that, but I'm sure Coach Harris will find some truth in that statement. Boone's 3 goes long, and that is not a shot clock violation. Wow. It's a foul against Kelly. Okay, that's the call. It definitely wasn't a shot clock violation. It seemed like maybe a inopportune horn, but instead, that's going to be a loose ball foul on Connor Kelly. For Connor, it's his 3rd. The Chargers are in the bonus now. That is their 8th, and so the Beacons will shoot a 1-and-1. Now, if you're Colby-Sawyer, it's exactly who you want at the free throw line in the form of Malik Lorquette, but Malik, up to this point, 4 of 6 from the stripe today. In and out, and the rebound pulled in by Omar Boone. No foul called on the box out underneath as McKenzie comes back up. Got the mean look to him now, so let's see if Xavier McKenzie ratchets up the defense that much more, and that's unbelievable. That ball was stolen, and Manny Zayas was dribbling down the floor with a fast break, and I'm not sure if they didn't like the bench getting in the referee's ears because of the no call against McKenzie, but it is going to be a foul against Manny Zayas. It's Manny's 1st, and it's the team's 7th, and so Connor Kelly at the line shooting 1-and-1. Kelly, just a 44% free throw shooter coming into action tonight. He's at 40% on the night, and he misses there. So he is 2 of 6 now at the line on the night. That's a huge miss for the Beacons. Both teams in the 1-1 right now. We have 4:27 left to go on a running clock here. Joy, head fake. Joy, right-handed drive. Oh, and he's blocked out of bounds with authority by Connor Kelly, but still 17 to shoot. I think that was Liz Cramp, one of the hockey players in the corner, that was the first to get that basketball there. So nice to see our athletes doing double duty tonight. Looks like she's behind the camera lens now, baseline. All right, back down low to Lorquette, spinning through a double team. Great move, and he puts it high off the glass, and the angle is not there, but the steal is for Zayas, who lays it in for 2. Omar Boone, for 1 second, had the biggest rebound of the game, but then he committed the biggest turnover of the game, and Manny Zayas up to 9 points. Joy almost gets the steal. Boone drives in, and he got it and won. Unbelievable. Omar Boone looking like a man amongst boys. He leads everyone for Colby-Sawyer with 19, and he has a chance at his 20th point with the and one free throw coming up. We have reached our final media timeout, so this will be our last full break here on the Beacon Broadcasting Network. 3:52 left to go. Beacons hanging in there. It's Chargers 76, Beacons 72. The conclusion after this on the BBN.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
UMass Boston 72, Colby-Sawyer College 76. We've got a fun game here inside the Clark Athletic Center on this, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And Omar Boone having himself a standout contest coming in off the bench tonight. Just hit a contested layup, drew the foul against Lorquette, now has a chance for one more. He misses it long. Malik skies up and grabs the rebound. So for Malik, that was his second personal foul. Both teams with 8 fouls right now, so it will be a 1-1 either way. 3:40 on a running clock. Xavier McKenzie trying to probe around Connor Kelly. You would think he would have the ball handling advantage here, but he gets cut off, has to go out deep to Joy. Olivier Rodriguez just hit one, and he hits again. Big three from the right wing, and it brings the Beaks back to within 1. He's a senior, and he's playing like one, is Mariano Olivier Rodriguez. 2 huge threes. He's got 8 points on the night, and the Beaks back to within 1. Can they get another stop? Olivier Rodriguez right in the grill. Oh, beautiful baseline pass. The layup no good. Ball still tipped free. Joy comes down. Throwing the elbow is Scott Lamprin, and that's going to be a jump ball, and the possession arrow gives it back to the Beaks. You can see that Lamprin knew he was in trouble, and he started aggressively throwing those elbows around. So that's very nice to see the backside referee putting a stop to that play. Neither player gets called for a foul. It's just going to be a jump ball, and you'll take it when the possession arrow gives it back to you. We'll reset here. Beacons trailing by 1. Xavier McKenzie, the true freshman, with the ball. Crossover dribble, drives up and under it, got it! He's got 11 points on the night, and that's the biggest bucket in his Beacons career. Just his 3rd game. He hasn't taken a minute on the bench yet, and he puts the Beacons back up by 1. Welcome to the action, Xavier McKenzie. Cummings, he's had a quiet second half, and I say that while knocking on wood. He's trying to pull up and hit a 3. He'll do it from the right wing. It's short. Joy with the rebound, and now the Beacons 2.5 minutes on the clock, holding a 1-point lead. We've played 37.5 minutes of basketball. The Beacons have only led for about 3 minutes in total, but they have one right now. McKenzie, the freshman, looking to make a name for himself. Olivia Rodriguez! No, it's short, but Lorquette tracks it down. 16th rebound of the night for Malik Lorquette, and it couldn't have come at a bigger time. 2:05 left to go. 13 to shoot, and an offensive foul against Malik Lorquette away from the play. What a heady play by Omar Boone to draw the foul. For Malik Lorquette, it's going to be his third. So for the Beacons, McKenzie, Burris, and Lorquette each with 3. And Ike Alua with 4. It is an off-ball offensive foul, so no 1-and-1. It'll just be an inbound for Colby-Sawyer. We're under the 2-minute mark now, folks. 1:57 left to go. Oh, what a game we have for you here. The Beacons trailed by 1 at halftime, 40-41. They lead by 1 right now. Joy steps up, cuts off Cummings. Boone picked up that dribble. He's flustered for Mariano. Mariano applying the pressure. Boone picks it up and he throws it away. Emmanuel Zayas, another steal. Up ahead to McKenzie. Xavier peels back to a cutting Lorquette, who almost hits the bucket, but 2 huge free throws coming up. And let's have a moment of recognition for the true freshman Xavier McKenzie. Playing with a lot of urgency, but very calm and collected. Almost got the beautiful assist there to Lorquette. And we take a look at the clock, just 1:36 left to go in this contest. So Lorquette at the line now for the Beaks. Malik has played 34 of the 38 minutes tonight. He has tied his career high with 19 rebounds. Misses the first free throw long, 1 more coming up, and Mike Joanno back on the floor for Colby-Sawyer. Malik Lorquette at this point in the contest, 22 points to go along with 19 rebounds. We kill for a 23rd right here. Deep exhale and a freebie on the way. It's off the front iron. Misses short, but McKenzie fighting for the rebound. No, he touched it last. I thought he might have knocked it off Kelly. Great effort there, but a big 2 misses from the charity stripe for Lorquette. He's now 4 of 9 from the line on the night, and the Beacons need to turn to their defense again here. It's going to be Harvey bringing the ball up. Harvey, Cummings, Joanno, Boone, and Connor Kelly, the 5 on the floor for Colby-Sawyer. Lorquette almost gets the steal, but it's recovered by Terrence Harvey. Big rush on defense there. Coach Kagler could feel that possession maybe slipping away from the Chargers. He takes the timeout, and they'll take a full timeout. And so we will take a break right here on the Beacon Broadcasting Network with 1:20 left to go. Beacons 77, Chargers 76.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Hey, welcome back, guys. What a game we have for you tonight. 80 seconds left to go on a stopped clock. The Beacons leading the Colby-Sawyer College Chargers 77-76. No one on the floor right now has 4 fouls. There are plenty of players with 3 fouls. We'll keep you posted should it get to that point. Here's Omar Boone back to the basket with 19 points on the night. Around the perimeter, Mike Joanno. He's had a quiet night offensively. They look down low to Boone. Boone gets cut off by McKenzie, and a late whistle will lead to 2 free throws coming up for the senior Omar Boone. For McKenzie, it's his 4th. So now McKenzie and Alua each with 4. Burris and Lorquette with 3 for the Beaks. For the Chargers, Connor Kelly, Mike Joanno, both are on the floor, and Daniel Jordan, each with 3 as well. Omar Boone at the stripe, 66% shooter. He was a 75% shooter last year, and he hits the first. We are knotted again at 77. One more here, and Boone hits nothing to it. Looks like he's pulled up from that shot plenty of times before. Daniel Jordan was trying to sub in for the shooter, or after the made free throw, pardon me, so Kelly comes off. So let's reset the scene here. Beacon's now trailing again by 1. Zayas, McKenzie, and Olivier Rodriguez in the backcourt, along with Bobby Joy. So it's a 4-guard look right now for the Beacons. Malik Lorquette down low. Jordan, Harvey, Lampton, Joanno, and Omar Boone, the 5 on the floor for Colby-Sawyer, as we are under a minute left in the Clark Athletic Center. Olivier Rodriguez, jab step, looks over towards McKenzie. Here's Xavier, 11 to shoot. Oh, pretty crossover by McKenzie, who's blocked by Boone, and Harvey pulls down the big rebound. Couldn't have been a better move to free up the space, and Omar Boone, the man of the hour, guessed right and was there for the block. Colby-Sawyer takes a timeout. They have 1 remaining. The Beaks still have 2 timeouts. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay with you here. 41.1 on the clock. Beacons trailing Colby-Sawyer 78-77. Pretty even numbers now. The Beacons shooting 42%. Colby-Sawyer shooting 41. The Beacons 9 of 26 from beyond the arc. It puts them at 35%. Colby-Sawyer 10 of 23. Bit better. That's 43%. The free throw line, the Beacons, they have made just 10 of their 16 shots. Colby-Sawyer has gotten to the line 7 more times, and they've made 8 more free throws. So right now, Colby-Sawyer 78% from the line, and the Beaks at 62. UMass Boston out-rebounding the Chargers 47-32. They're going to have to get another one over Colby-Sawyer here, or maybe a steal. Let's see. Lamprin looks to his left, and Omar Boone. Olivier Rodriguez fronting the ball handler. Harvey, they just get the ball across the timeline with a second to spare. 18 on the shot clock, 30 on the game clock, about 13 seconds left if the Beacons were able to stop and get the ball back. Lorquette forces the steal. Lorquette has a fast break ahead of Harvey. Lays it in for 2. 20 seconds left, and Malik Lorquette, the play of his life. Timeout on the floor. He's asking for the and 1. You don't want to ask for too much right now, but Malik Lorquette, 24 points to go along with 19 tied for a career-high rebounds, and the Beacons are up by 1. He picked the pocket of Connor Kelly, coasted ahead of the defense, and laid it in ahead of Terrence Harvey Jr. Timeout on the floor taken by Colby-Sawyer. It's a full timeout. Both teams have 1 remaining, so we will take a quick break here. 20 seconds left, 20.1 to be exact. It's Beacons 79, Chargers 78. Don't go anywhere.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
The UMass Boston Beacons vying for a 2-1 start to the season, leading the Colby-Sawyer College Chargers by 1. 2 timeouts left for the Beacons, 1 timeout left for the Chargers. Both teams are in the double bonus. Here we go. The Beacons need 1 more stop. They just got one to retake the lead thanks to the efforts of Malik Lorquette. Terrence Harvey Jr., 16 seconds, takes it across the timeline. Colby-Sawyer does have a timeout if they need to bail their offensive possession out. Boone, step back jumper. Got it. Pulls the trigger over Olivier Rodriguez. He's been the player of the game. He had 13 in the first half, and he's close to that again in the second half here. Mariano Olivier Rodriguez was right on him, but there wasn't anything he could do as Omar Boone hits again. We'll take a look at the game totals right now. Omar Boone, 22 points. So he leads the Chargers with 22 on now 8 of 16 shooting, including 3 of 5 from beyond the arc and 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. Throw in 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block, and you have yourself a game to remember for Omar Boone. For the Beacons, Malik Lorquette has been the story here. He's played 36 of the game's 39 minutes, 10 of 15 from the floor, 24 points, 2 steals, none bigger than the one he just had, 19 rebounds, tying a career high. The Beacons cannot advance the ball with the turnover. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. It's going to be 7 seconds and the length of the floor. Bobby Joy, Manny Zayas, Malik Lorquette, Mariano Olivier Rodriguez joining Xavier McKenzie, and here we go. The inbounds goes to McKenzie. 5 seconds. Left-handed dribble. Gets around the defender. Pulls up. Hanging layup. No good. And he's found no call. And that'll do it. Unbelievable. He had the look in the lane. He got the rebound. Couldn't put the putback up and in. And Colby-Sawyer will steal their first win of the season from the Beacons by a final tune of 80-79. With the win, Colby-Sawyer moves to 1-3, and with the loss, the Beacons move to 1-2. So many bright spots. Career night for Malik Lorquette. A bit of a coming out party for Xavier McKenzie, but 1 point too little at the end of the contest. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the game's final numbers and a look ahead at more around Beaconville after this. The final score, Colby-Sawyer 80, UMass Boston 79. We'll be back with more after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact, not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just the starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like the place that people want to go.
What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands out to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. It's one of those moments you never forget.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential.
And we rejoin you here at the Clark Athletic Center, a 1-point win for the Colby-Sawyer Chargers. They are victorious over UMass Boston Beacons 80-79. They move to 1-3 on the season with the win, and the Beaks fall to 1-2. Take a look at the final statistics, and they aren't that similar, except for shooting. The Beacons held the advantage 43-42%. Colby-Sawyer amped up the marksmanship from long range. They outshoot the Beacons 43.5 to 34.6 from beyond the arc. Also, that free throw discrepancy, it's extra huge when you consider Colby-Sawyer took 14 more free throws and they made 10 more. The Beacons out rebounding the Chargers 47-32. They get one more assist, but they commit 5 more turnovers, and any one of those could be the margin that swung this game by 1 point in favor of Colby-Sawyer. We'll take a look at the final team leaders stat-wise. It was a huge game for Malik Lorquette. You can see that on the left side of your screen. He ties his career high with 19 rebounds, 24 points, dominant double-double down low, just 1 point shy. Bobby Joyce second up with 14 points, and he leads the team with 4 assists. Tommy Burris leading the way with 3 steals. For Colby-Sawyer, it's who you thought it would be, Omar Boone and Scott Lamprin. Basically, Omar Boone owned the first 20 minutes of the game. Scott Lamprin owns minutes 20 through 30, and then Omar Boone retook over the last 10 minutes of the contest. 22 for Boone, 19 for Lamprin. Boone leads the way with 7 rebounds. Connor Kelly was right on his tail with 6. Connor Kelly leading the way with 3 blocks. Zach Caraballo with 3 assists leading the way for Colby-Sawyer. And 4 different Chargers with 1 steal. And so unfortunately, the Beacons now 1-2 on this young season. Fortunately for Colby-Sawyer, they do pick up their win to move them to 1-3. A quick look at the upcoming schedule here. The Black Coaches Classic next on the agenda for the Beacons, and so it's a night game against Leslie U on the Saturday the 26th, that game tipping off at 7:30. Then a road matchup against Riviera University on November 30th. Then we're into December with some LEC basketball. On the 3rd, it's a home contest against the EastCon Warriors. On the 6th, heading out to Danbury to take on the Wolves, that game starting at 7, and then a road game right down the street in Milton at Curry College on December 8th. At 6 p.m. And so that's what's out in front of the Beacons, who are now 1-2 on the season. We're going to wrap it up here in the broadcast booth, and I couldn't have done it without the work of our BBN production team. Michael Vesci down at floor level. He's our producer today. Elena Albano, our director. Gina Albano running graphics right next to me. Josh Eastman next to me on the camera. And I am Chris Del Sordo. Thanks so much for listening to me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching your Beacons almost pull out that win, but there's plenty of basketball on the horizon. We have women's basketball and hockey on the Beacon Broadcasting Network this weekend, so be sure to let me try that.